howdy, y'all.
Howdy doody.
Here we are, another Tuesday. After a long weekend.
Yeah, I still haven't started vacation yet, so I didn't have much of a weekend. Right now, they're finishing up the last couple of boards.
Well, at least almost done now.
Yeah, I still have to move my washing machine and dryer, and he has to do an area he has to come back to. I don't know. We'll see if I can get it done before I leave on my river trip.
Oh yeah, you going on the river cruise.
But yeah, I've been messing around with videos, so I've been just working on those and working on this is kind of fun. This is not, this is technology. You might enjoy this. Let me show you this really quick. This is a project I'm working on right now. Let's see here. We can go right. Yeah, we can go right there. So right there is my pool robot.
The pool robot is drowning.
Well, at least I get some technology. So, but that's complete there. So I'm using X5 and pool robot. The X5 has been fun. Sound's been really good, and if you look at the lighting, it's so much better than the X4 and any previous. So anyway, yeah, I'm just messing around with the pool toy there, but that thing's pretty cool. So let's see if I get an underwater shot here. There, it's climbing up the stairs.
You need to take your little Ace Pro, not the Ace Pro.
The Go 3S.
The Go 3S, and stick it on top of the robot.
If I used every camera and I used every creative shot, this one's probably worth it. I'm not done with this video, so I might do that. That's actually, I could slip that little shot in.
It would be a fun shot, just sitting on top of it, cruising through.
I'll do that. I'm not going to be done with this until.
And then you underlay some of that the sport music under it. Yeah, buddy.
What I should do is put a Panther turret on it. Put a
couple sonar bangs in the background.
A Panzer.
Yeah.
The pool Panzer.
No, just the sonar ding. Bing, bing.
Yep. Yeah. I'm thinking about putting an 88 millimeter gun on it and let it drive around the bottom. That would be funny if it could make it shoot something. I wish I had scuba gear that worked. That would be fun too. do a selfie. Oh, that would be so overkill. Anyway, you gotta have fun.
You need scuba gear. You get your mask and your snorkel. That's all you need.
That's not overkill though. You got to overdo it.
Well, come by here and pick up mine.
We got clouds out right now.
I just had my tanks hydroed, and
yeah, I am definitely in need of a hydro test. I wouldn't use my gear until that's looking
Well,
for.
ain't nobody gonna fill your tank without a hydro.
Yeah, nobody's going to touch it. So
I've got one tank that's freaking older than dirt, but damn thing still passed the hydro.
oh,
But I dive only steel tanks, so
yeah, mine's aluminum.
yeah. And if your aluminum is off the wrong vintage, then nobody's even going to test the hydro on it.
Oh, my dog's barking at the nailer. He's nailing on baseboards, and Steve's barking.
Well, that gives Steve something to do. So
Oh,
we got Acurazo, we got Eat More Possum, good evening, Brent. We got FTFO Media. Howdy, feller.
hold on. I gotta quickly do something. I gotta make sure.
Go quickly do something.
I gotta
Go
make sure.
tell.
I gotta make sure everything's good.
Yeah.
Steve down there is barking at the. Anyway, we'll be right back.
Yeah. You go bark at Steve.
Hey Steve, are you outside?
So and we'll talk about, well, we can go ahead and get started. We got all sorts of stuff leaked from DJI this week. So this ought to be an interesting subject. Let me share that screen. There we go.
What? Not even dinner time yet. It's almost. You want to hang out?
You gonna let him hang out?
He's all wound up right now.
Well, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
He's protecting the freaking fort. Is what he's doing.
Yeah. I just decided to go ahead and start with the leaks, because DJI had quite a few leaks this week.
Oh yeah, yep, they did.
Mini 5, Avata 3, Neo 2, all sorts of stuff going on. So this is supposed to be the Avata 3.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation. That's probably in Avata.
And apparently that camera is going to have more movement up and down, because it's quite clear that that camera could turn like straight up and straight down.
Yeah.
Which would be good for inspection work.
Right. Be interesting to see what they do with it,
But, if you're doing for inspection, then you would expect some sort of zoom capability with it too.
Right. The props look a little bit chunkier. They look like a little fatter.
Yeah, they're 4-bladed too. So that would be.
I think that's in line with what a lot of us are flying with. I got 4-bladed props on my Avata right now.
And then Mini 5 Pro.
Yeah,
they're in production now.
There's a Mini 5 flying around.
So we got some Mini 5 pictures here.
There's some flight video too on Twitter.
Again, it's a 2S Bird, large battery. But does it say, is it LiPo or lithium ion? Does it say? It does not. At least not on this label. I wonder if that QC code on that thing works. Think anybody tried that yet?
I almost did yesterday.
Well, it works, but it comes up with just some generic testing. So, yeah, that didn't work, but
Trying to get my
anything else?
windows straightened out here.
So we got about a 3 again, and Neo 2 is something in the works too.
Yeah, like a Neo 2 Pro with the 04 system. That's what I'm hoping it is. That would make that Neo so much more spectacular to fly. A little bit more battery time, so you get
a little bit more battery time and a lot better camera is what that thing needs.
Yeah, the camera's good. I mean, but you have to do all they have to do is put the 04 system on there and
well, it's already the 04 system. They need to put the Pro camera on.
Oh, you're right, the 04 Pro, right?
Was that full field of view, not that mini field of view that's in the light or standard or whatever. But what I find interesting is this part here, the Osmo Nano, said to be like Action 2 revival, as they said here. So it'll be back to the Action 2 format, more form factor, which this got me all sorts of interested.
That's really interesting that they're doing that. I don't know where they're going with that. I mean, obviously they just want, they want us to spend more money.
Well, I mean, the Action 2 is still probably one of the best cameras to stick on drones, just for the weight. Okay.
It's
and
actually
the one severe limitation that we had was the storage capacity, which they upped that to 128, which still left the issue was not enough power.
But the name Nano makes me feel like they're going to do something like Insta360 did with the Go 3S, that they're going to make it modular and small. It already is modular, but it says with the name Nano, that tells me they're going to make it smaller. Isn't that what it sounds like to you? That they're
Well, I think they're really stretching it on this thing.
See, no, don't go down and bark. Barking at that freaking nail gun downstairs.
So we'll have to see what this is going to end up looking like.
Yeah, I don't. It just. Damn, he's so stupid. You probably can't. Can you hear him bark? Bark.
I can hear. Yeah, and your floor installer is probably shitting his bridges right about now.
He doesn't have much to do, so can't have too many more nails to put in. I've been painting baseboards for freaking 3 days. Been crawling around, painting and taping, and
Replace button on your shirt. Yeah. Make it small enough to make it look like your shirt button. Yeah, sure.
Nano unveiled.
And I'll be interested to see, what they're doing, if they're reviving the Action 2 form factor, or if they're going more in the direction of the Go 3 or Go 3S. Which I can see your point, especially with the name of Nano.
Yeah, I'm just curious. You know, you can't make the same thing exactly. So there's got to be a twist. You know, there's got to be some kind of
Yeah, DJI being
significant.
DJI. Yeah,
Can you see the battery size on there? Let's
battery
see.
size
I'm
on
looking for battery. You know, that's might be a clue there. Um,
input.
looking on here. I'm really enjoying. I've really enjoyed the last generation of everything that DJI has done. I mean the Nano, the Neo, the Flip. The Flip is like a redheaded stepchild. It's just being abused. You know, nobody's even you know talking much about it, and it's you know I wish I had more time. I'm actually you know what I should do is bring the Flip.
So here's
I'm going to
the
bring the Flip with me on my trip this summer.
here's here's the reasoning. No, thinking it's an Action 2 configuration. You have a camera and a display. So you got ON001 for the camera and OD001 for display.
It's the same configuration. I got a feeling they're gonna try. They're doing a lot of copycatting, but not really copycatting the design, but the concept. And you know, I have a lot of fun with small cameras, and I think that would be just another fun summer toy, you know. But it ain't going to be out for the summer, obviously. But I just really enjoyed it. I still have it. I still have it. You know, just not using it because you know oh my dog is
Yep,
still on here. I
you're
got to keep
going
checking.
away, Ankit.
Checks.
Ankit Kumar. Screw you.
Making sure Steve is still inside.
No, we've got a guy coming into the chat here saying, please gift me one FPV drone as his very first statement in the chat.
Bye.
Yeah, you're out. You're done.
Yeah, it's just people, you know, like if there's just drives me crazy. People that think they favors owed to them for whatever reason. Feel bad for me. He's got to understand what Americans have been doing. We've been deporting people recently, thousands and thousands of people. So there's not a lot of gifting spirit.
No, I just that just rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, come on in. It's like you know visit somebody's house and then you beg. It's like whatever. Okay, come in.
Well, you want to beg, that's fine, but don't make that your opening statement. So,
yeah.
I guess they'll just pop in every chat with the same message, hoping that somebody will send them something.
I'll send them something. Get on eBay and write me a check. I've sold 2 drones this week.
Well, easy money. Which ones did you sell?
I'm not telling.
You have to sell a Air 3S so you can film for the Mavic 4.
The only hint, the best hint I can give is that I sell stuff that I really have no intention on flying. So
Oh,
anything,
you bought the Roku.
um,
The Roku 11.
nope, still have it.
You couldn't find anybody to give you money for that thing yet?
No, I've only flown it like twice.
Yeah.
I got to get it back in the air.
Try
No,
baseball bat.
I just haven't had any time. I haven't flown a drone in a week.
See, you put it on a fence post, and you take your baseball bat and you give it a good smack. It'll fly for about 50 or so feet.
I want to do a a performance flight just to see. I really haven't had a chance to do anything like out in the wide open spaces, just to feel it out a little bit. That's about it. The camera, it's everything is pretty standard. I don't think it's a bad drone for the price. I think you're in that $300 price range. The only thing that gets you is they've gotta get over, like every other company's gotten over, the fact that there are companies that have figured out the magnetic anomaly thing. Okay. Just about everybody has figured that out. And these guys got to figure it out too, because it's not uncommon for people to be around things that interfere with the magnetic field, the compass. And
you know that whole thing kind of reminds me of my days when I used to install satellite dishes. And I'd have to train new guys, and I tell them, no, get your compass, get a direction where you need to go. And they'd be standing there and they have a freaking wrench on the bottom of their hand, and then I put the compass on top of it. Okay. Or they have a piece of wire in their hand, or something. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. But the best one yet was the two guys that came by and picked up their new satellite dish. And, before they leave, I give them some hints, about installation.
Uh-huh.
I told them, I said, if you get too stuck, just give me a call and I'll talk you through it. Well, them two just looked at each other and they're like, this is going to take more than a 6-pack. I'm like, oh boy, I know I'm going to get a call. Sure enough, about 2 hours later, I got a phone call. And the guy goes like, we can't find any satellites. I'm like, well, you're going to have to wait till the night. He's like, what do you mean? And then, you can't see the satellites during the day. He's like, what am I looking for? Little red flashing light. You'll see it. Just get your compass and then you kind of point it that direction and then, wait for it. Yeah. Hook, line, and sinker.
Oh, yeah, nothing worse than freaking low man on the totem pole jokes.
Yeah, no. I was rolling. I was laughing my ass off. I actually ended up going over to their house and helped them. And what it turned out, the dish set and Dish Network dishes needed to be skewed so they could grab both satellites at the same time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they sure as shit forgot about that. So, besides, I used to have another meter to align dishes with that was a bit more on the pro side. Because I used to install commercial dishes.
Osmo Nano. Do you think that has anything to do with the 360 camera? or is not? Is it a totally different thing?
I think the 360 and the Osmo are two different animals.
Yeah.
I can see them, no, Osmo 360, but not Osmo Nano, not on a 360 camera.
Well, there's at least two companies that are constantly coming up with good ideas, and that's now we just need another drone company to show up to the party. I mean, Autel's still cranking out products. They're still selling, and I get an ad from them every so often. Nobody's interested in. They haven't done anything to their design. They're just making the same thing, and they're just creating a platform for a surveillance platform, basically, or an inspection platform.
Did I shut down the chat, or is it what's going on in it?
Oh, it's
Ever
going.
since I booted that guy, it's like crickets.
I don't know.
Oh well.
Is it working?
Drone shots just popped in, so I guess it
Okay.
is working. Howdy, fella.
Everybody's gun shy now. Oh my gosh.
Well, anyhow, there was this other article that I come across, and I guess we can chat about that for a quick minute. It's the FAA and their penalties, and they put out quite a bit. So it says August 24, FAA issued press release stating that proposed $341,413 in civil penalties against 27 drone operators from October 22 to June 24. So it's a little older article, but it's interesting to see what all they went against. 3 revocations based on drug convictions, use of an aircraft commission of a drug crime. This one here, I think, is really interesting. Transportation Security Administration said the individual was a security terrorism threat. And falsification, flying in controlled airspace, temporary flight restriction violation.
Yeah, all the key ingredients of stupidity.
Fuck around and find out. But
Yeah,
I mean, what they settled too. I mean, $32,700 against a guy will settle for $4,000. Then this bozo flying over the Miami Grand Prix, he got $18,000 fine, settled for $9,000.
we have a PGA and an LPGA event that's down the street from me, and I don't even think about flying over those things. I mean, I'm almost within the middle. I'm almost in the middle of they did do a TFR for the PGA, but the LPGA there, I think they want people to fly over. Please take drone shots.
Well,
But
I thought it was a interesting article. That's why I sent it to you too.
no, it just goes to show us that they're doing the same. They're taking the most serious cases and they're saying, "Hey, dumbass." But Yeah, it's I think at this point, just trying to keep as many people interested, we're reaching the divide of, I think this hiatus with the Mavic 4 is really kind of really testing the waters of what people are.
Here's one sanction for $270,000 fine. Case that media reports stated involved drone operator harassing homeless people hundreds of times with his drone.
How about harassing people crossing a bridge? Remember the Ken Herons video of him?
Well, we'll just got to go back to Philly Drone Life, Mikey.
He wasn't really harassing anybody. He was just flying over the city.
He was flying anywhere. I mean, he couldn't see his drones. It's just, but he is permanently banned from anything drone related.
I think Philly needed to, if he would have been his attitude would have been different, he'd still be flying.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing about that. That's too bad. That's a tragedy but it's also, self-inflicted wounds. There was already, people scared, and then you get all the anxiety people have about drones, and you like, oh, you're gonna surveil people in my building. Kyle flies over Philadelphia every damn day. Nobody's messing with him. He flies over the city and around the city and over the highways, and so I'm still trying to figure out what to do drone wise. My summer is going to be, I have to choose my travel drone this year. And I think I know which one I'm traveling with. Which one?
I said that to flip.
It's not the obvious choice because it's kind of noisy, but the thing I like about that is compact. I can throw a controller in the bag, and then I don't have to use the controller. I can throw it in a backpack, and and then I don't even have to break out the controller. I can just throw it in the air. I mean, there's so many just interesting things that you can do with that. It just makes it.
My goal for this for the immediate future is to get that thing in the air.
Which one?
That drift. The white one.
Well, that's a shame. It's just hanging in there.
Well, I mean, I've got a flight controller floating around for that thing. I just needed to take time to put it together. I was playing with it over the weekend some, but the way the flight controller is, the pins for the servos stick straight up. And when you put the plug for the servo on top of it, it's too tall for that little black cover back there to come back down and close that hole. So I had to order a different pin header that kicks that has like a 90-degree bent that kicks the servo plugs to the bottom, and then I can make it work in that thing.
I thought you were going to fly the VTOL.
The VTOL is sitting right here on the ground. I took it to the flying field, but it was too windy, and I didn't want to chance it.
Yeah, I understand that. You don't have trees, though. You really have a good place where you can just get it high. But yeah, too windy is. I'm with you on that.
We had winds gusting to 20 mph that day.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I wouldn't put a big bird up like that unless it was a compact, I like the Air 3S. I would fly
I,
any
I, I
that
got
would
a
be
couple. I got a couple flights in was the AOS, and that really wasn't all that great either. So I just decided to ask for it. Today wasn't. That was not the day to fly. But I'm working on a slightly modification to this thing right here. This is the TBS Crossfire transmitter module, the nano module.
Yeah.
And you see how that antenna is sticking way the hell up there? And trying to fit that into my case is a little bit challenging because it's, just big.
Yeah.
So I found a little 3D printed part right here that's going to sit on this like so. And then as antenna comes off and the stock Tango 2 antenna goes on there. So it'll be like right here and it'll fold up. So when it sits on the back of the radio,
it'll fold back.
The antenna will just fold in on top of here.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So I already printed up the 3D printing pieces. I've got the antenna on order. Should be here probably by the end of the week. And then I will try that out.
I was watching.
Internet is laggy.
Those guys were complaining.
It's not my freaking internet. It's my freaking OBS. Ever since the last update, it's been acting goofy.
Yeah, sometimes it does that. There's definitely a bug. I occasionally will get bugs in it. I've been very computer lucky recently. I haven't had too many issues. I'm not on no lag here. Yeah, I was just giving them crap. It's been really nice to not have computer problems. I mean, it used to be what with me was, it was always something with the computer. Now I don't have any issues with them at all. So that's kind of nice, actually. I keep it simple, and I think I got everything figured out. Between the new camera and going back to the old Rode mic, everything just became simple. So I am toying with an idea for a mic that I saw on I was watching a camera channel, and I watched one of the people that I like to watch as far as cameras are concerned. He was using a wireless mic, which was pretty cool. So I'm going to try that out.
This don't look too bad. 262 down and 360 up.
That's probably better than me.
For doing it during the live stream.
Temu $10 mic. I like the idea of a wireless mic. I really do, because it's.
Well, there's a DJI Mic 3 coming. I already saw a picture of that.
I don't know if you ever heard of Terry Warfield. He does cameras. He's a Sony kind of camera. He's just a camera guy. I'm not even gonna say he's any one type, but he has basically one of Ken Dono's mic, one of his mic holders for the mic 2.
Mm-hmm.
Puts the air mic in there and uses that. And then he uses the base, obviously the receiver, because the receiver will filter your sound, and it gives them good it's just kind of simple. I thought it was nice. It eliminates the entire wire going to your computer. And then you get your DJI sound or whatever, the sound profile that you want. But I think it'd be great to get rid of an idea to get rid of another wire, So, yeah, Terry Warfield's kind of cool. I've listened to, he's got good ideas. He's got a really interesting style. I learn a lot from him. But yeah, the Mic Mini, I was using that for a while as a casting mic. But so anyway, I'm messing around with that idea. So I went and ordered one of those microphone housings from Ken, paid freaking premium, 30 bucks for a freaking 3D printed mic. I could have freaking printed my own probably.
Should have printed your own. Yeah.
That's okay. I'm trying to support the freaking community. But I'll probably end up going back to this thing. This thing's bulletproof. This mic's like 7 or 8 years old. That's freaking awesome. It's zero problems with it. But anyway, the Insta360 mic, I saw that had problems, but yeah, this freaking little Link 2 is a great camera. Kai and I both are twinners now. We got twin cameras. So if you're thinking
I've been
about
telling you forever to get the Link 2, ever since I got mine.
It's, you can grab it and throw it in your bag and travel with it, and it's like a no-brainer. Thing is, it's basically just does its thing, man. And it's pretty easy to figure out.
It's gotten quiet in your house. Has Steve eaten the floor installer now?
No, my wife's home. She calmed him down.
She has a calming effect on the dog.
Yeah,
Where you at on your barbecue? Is the barbecue ready yet?
Barbecue. I did work on it a little bit today. Actually, I should probably do a update video. I did some tear out today. I did get my barbecue parts in, so everything's sitting on the patio with a number of other things. So once I get the kitchen cleaned out and the back room that's getting worked on today, I have to paint that tomorrow. So that'll be my job for tomorrow. Obviously, I'm not flying. I need to fly something. Maybe I'll fly the Neo. The Neo always makes me feel good.
Fly that Roku. Straight under the trash can.
The Roku. It's like the Roku, but hey, don't be bagging on the freaking Roku. Ruko's freaking. Say it's still my friend. Maybe I should send it out on a search mission.
Are you gonna get lost again?
That's where I'm gonna fly it. I need to fly it over there. So I've actually flown several.
Maybe you'll find Mr. Croc.
I've flown several versions of this little drone. But
yeah, maybe you need that maybe you need to use this to find Mr. Croc.
Hey, at least these guys put some design elements into it. I mean, the Potenzic, is like a square brick. This thing at least has, it's got some bottom facing sensors. You still can't charge it though with the battery in it. But they just let you. What is this doing? you still have to charge the batteries, you know, that way.
Is there at least USB-C on there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least then you get some juice on them.
The gimbal works good. It's got I mean, for what they're selling this for is like $300 with the basic kit.
You see Brent's comment there?
What?
You send me free running mails. I am any child, many wife. No said Ruku. Monkey dung.
Monkey dung. You guys you gotta cheer for these guys, man.
We are.
Gotta cheer. Especially when they there we go. That's why you want that camera right there. Look at that. That's why the Link 2 is the greatest camera ever. But this is a 1/2-inch sensor in a mini, just like the Atom 2. So the Atom 2 is definitely a dimension ahead of this one. It's got the better controller for sure. They did fix the control issues on it, so this one's not quite. Yeah, this one's not the Kai 1. You know, this is not in that.
The Kai 2
or the Kai 2 or whatever. You call that the Kai 2. What's the Kai 1 even? I don't even remember what the Kai 1 is. Is that the crashed glider?
No, that's hanging. Well, that's the one up there, the black one.
The black one?
Yeah, that's the one that hit the water tank.
Oh, that's right. That's right. God, that's been a long time.
And then, once after I'm done with the drift, the white one here on the wall, then I'm going to break out that Phoenix 2400, that freaking 8-foot monster, and get it in there. So that needs to be flown.
Ruko did a nice job with this controller. Look at that. I mean, it's not a crappy controller. It's nice.
Does it have some weight to it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you throw it at somebody, that'll register.
Oh, it'll hurt. And then it's got the mode switch right there in the middle. I like, it's got all that. So anyway.
That's why, they say coffee is good for everything. Even stupid people. You got to throw that cup hard enough.
Yeah.
Oh, Jim here was the ultimate insult. If it's not DJI, it's crap.
We gotta lose that mindset. Because if I were to keep that mindset, I wouldn't be using Insta360 cameras right now. If one of us wouldn't have said, hey, that those Insta360 cameras suck ass and we should never use them, these guys would have never came out of the dust. They would have died a death with Akaso.
Well, I just wish NX would start learning some of the lessons that Insta360 has.
It's just, yeah, exactly. No kidding. I mean, you can win in the market. You can just get some good engineers, and Ruko's trying to do it. Potenzic is trying to do it, but they gotta do something to their design. You gotta give the users something more than just the flying camera, and that's what DJI does.
It is flying camera.
I mean, DJI wins because they give you more. They said, hey, we've got the mini. They said we got the Mini 1, and then they moved on to the Mini 2, and then they took the Mini 1 again, and then they threw it in here. I mean, it's literally, it's just a rebirth of that first generation drone. They just put it in a different package, you know, and then they added a lot more fun toys for it.
No, that's not. I would not even put that on the same level as a mini.
The camera quality is about mini. Was that a 2.7K camera?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's definitely 4K if you know.
Yeah.
So, and it's got stabilization and all that. It doesn't have, it's
Really what they need to do on the light camera, they need to put a different lens on it.
yeah.
Because that 115-degree field of view is just dog shit.
Yeah, if you look deep into the eyes of the beast.
No, I didn't even show you yet what I got this weekend, have I?
Oh, is that an 03?
Yep. Everybody's yanking their 03s out and replacing with 04s.
Which makes sense.
So there was a guy up here in New Braunfels. He had several 03 birds that he upgraded to 04 professional flyer.
Yeah, the 03s are great. They're
Not quite sure which frame I'm going to throw that into. Actually, I might stick it in that 3.5-inch Volador. Where's that? There it is. I might throw it into this thing. Pull that Vista Nebula Pro out of here. And
I'm looking to see if there's an 03 air unit on Amazon.
nope.
Holy crap, $550.
Nope. They're currently sold out everywhere. But DJI says no, they're coming back. So
Here's one for $311.
there were 179 for a new one.
Yeah.
And I think that's still the price that DJI advertises for the 03.
Yeah. Yeah, the 04, I would still spend the extra money and get the 04. It's just a better camera. It's just everything better about it. The antennas are better. You just got to pay premium right now. You got to pay $329.
03 air unit 179 says reserve now on the DJI store. So they haven't yanked it off their site. So they might come back with those.
Here's the 03 air unit for $1,654.
Yep.
People are so freaking, they're such assholes, man. Are we that stupid?
All it takes is one person.
That's right. And they do.
You know, and you know how this works? This is one kid in the family says, I need new 03 and puts it on his birthday wish list. And then, grandparents or dad or whatever, not knowing any better what that thing might cost, may order something to the tune of $300 and some odd dollars or $1,000 or whatever.
Yeah, if you order through DJI, you still have to pay the 30% right now. So,
well, my last DJI order came to me through Canada, and that still had the under $800 exemption. So
it did.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, if I had a project in mind, I would definitely get one. I like to I like to kind of line things up all at the same time. I like to fork it away for a while, and then I like to pigeonhole it until I need to spend it.
Then I found some of these on Amazon.
$5.50.
6S.
And the big boy.
No, it's they said the little batteries that I use for my sub 250 quads. 95C discharge rating.
I should put that on my Pavo 20.
They weigh a little more than what the race day quads batteries do, but they've got this stupid long cable on here.
Wow.
I think I'm gonna whack this freaking cable in half.
That is a long cable. Holy crap. That's what she said, man.
Oh, look at the size of this cable, baby.
Yeah, what's with the excessive cable size there?
Somebody's obviously compensating for something at
That's
Tattoo.
right, man.
But yeah, I'm probably gonna whack off about half of that cable and just take that connector off and put it on down here. Save a couple of grams, and that's probably about the same weight as the RDQ batteries anyway. So, I mean, they're under 90 grams for those batteries. So, is it taco time yet? Because I'm ready to wrap this up.
Yeah, it's getting there. Yeah, I'm just kind of I'm just getting ready for, like I said, I haven't really had a chance to do anything summer wise, so I'm excited to go do something. Yay, Canada! Yeah, I would like to order. I wish if there was a low cost DJI product, I'd probably go through my Halifax dealer. I guess I could order an 03 unit or an 04 unit through those guys. I didn't pay any duty on my flip. So yeah, I wish that was more exciting right now. I'm just like, there's nothing like painting that really makes my life just
miserable,
and I'm getting good at it though. That's the one thing I can tell you is I'm after painting all of my house, from one end to the other. I'm getting.
Well, if you're already in the swing of things, come over here and I'll let you paint here some more.
No.
Yeah, I'll let you borrow my scuba gear. Then you can. Yeah, you get a little something out of it too. Besides the exercise.
Besides, painting. That's just so horrible. But you'd like to say you just tolerate it. I listen to podcasts, and one of the things I do is that if my brain is engaged, it helps. So I put a history podcast on. I've been listening to ancient history. I've been listening to so much. I mean, I've listened to the history of. I was listening to the history of history last night. I listened to the revolution of 1848 in Europe. The revolutions of 1848, which is really nothing nobody wants to talk about. It's really obscure stuff. But I listened to the rise of Peter the Great. So that's what I do while I'm painting.
All right. It is 88 freaking degrees in this office now.
Your wife keeping me.
I am done. I need to get out of here before I die of a freaking heat stroke.
Painting, oh boy. Yeah. All right. You ruined the stream.
Yeah.
Ruined the stream with chores.
No, I'm done. It's freaking.
Aren't we supposed to come here to escape from chores?
Yeah, we are, but no, it's freaking 88 degrees in this office right now.
Oh boy. Okay, all right. You need maybe I need to do a review on a product that you could cool your office down.
I know I can cool my office with. The problem is, right here on that outside wall, there's a garage attached to the house.
Oh, that's
I have a
right. With
little
no,
freaking roof over it.
yeah,
And where that roof meets the house, they didn't seal that attic off.
yeah. You're getting fried.
So I'm
You're
getting all that hot air out of that attic straight into this office.
Yep, I know your project is to vent that hot air out of there.
Yeah, I need I've already bought a fan, but this weekend was not the weekend to do home improvement projects.
Yeah, I tried to say that and didn't work.
Well, we went to the coast on Saturday, and then Sunday we recovered, and yesterday I took the day off.
Yeah,
So,
that's good. Good choice.
but we're out of here. We'll see y'all next week, same time, same place. Hopefully, we'll find some more good leaks.
Yeah, well, we'll see where the leaks go. It'd be interesting to see what this nano is. Yeah, I think that's really interesting. I think this idea of an Avata 3 is really good. I would prefer a Neo 2 first. I really would. I think this, for the fun factor for everybody, is just that much better.
Yeah,
It
that's what I
basically
needed was something else for another goggle. Yeah.
you notice that right there, that little puppy right there. That's the little freaking meteor right there.
Yeah. Well,
And then you got the Pavo up there. That's Pavo 20. That's the granddaddy. That's got the 04 system in it.
well, it is time for us to, and if you can hit the thumb on the way out, please, we'd appreciate it. That, we'll see y'all next week.
Yeah. Take it
Thanks,
easy,
Dad.
guy.
We'll see you later. Bye.
I'll be painting tomorrow. So.
All right. Good luck with that. Adios.